Love and light friends. Today we're talking about manifesting anything. Anything. What do you want to manifest? Anything you want to manifest, you can do it. And this is not going to be like a pep talk where let's try to drum up that we believe something that we don't believe. That's just it. You really have to believe it. So when I say my affirmation starts off with I am the creator. I'm not trying to talk myself into that. I really believe it. I really believe it. And I think the reason I really believe it is because I really understand it. See, if you don't understand something, but you're trying to tell yourself, you're trying to convince yourself, but you don't understand it, then your subconscious already knows you don't really understand it. Therefore, you don't really believe it, but you're trying to, which is, you get credit for that. But the more powerful way is to know. Is to know it. And so if you understand how it is you're the creator, then you know it. And so when you say your affirmation, and I might have said my affirmation on a different video of what it is, I can't remember, but I'm not going to say it right now. But the point is I don't have to try to convince my conscious mind of it. I really believe it. And since I really believe it, it really works. And so therefore I can manifest anything. Anything. I don't ever get sick, so I don't need to manifest, health. According to the Matrix, I would not be considered rich. But why would I go according to the Matrix about anything? Why would I let the Matrix define anything about me? So, and I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, because I'm not a bragger type, but I am rich. I lack for nothing. I have plenty of time. I have plenty of money. I have plenty of creativity. And I spend the majority of my time being creative in some way. Even if it's just, doing this. Sitting here next to this little stream, listening to nature, saying my affirmation to myself. Or talking to you on a video. Right, so you can manifest anything. Anything. And if you don't believe that, then it's going to be kind of hard for you to do it. So you got to condition your own self to where you believe it. And to where you know it. And a lot of the conditioning may have to come forth through reconditioning or unconditioning or what I always usually say, reprogramming. We've been programmed in numerous ways in this society. But see, I'm getting to where I'm just no longer negative about none of it. Nothing. Because it was only by my consent. I don't appreciate being tricked. I don't appreciate being duped. I don't appreciate people that are like that. I don't appreciate people that are deceptive and would try to hurt or harm their fellow human beings, brothers and sisters. Right? But let's not put life force currency on their dumbasses. Let's just admit we got duped. On many levels. But thankfully, wisdom came along and said there is something you can do about it. Even if you're running a program, which is sort of out of your hands by that point. If your subconscious is running a program that's keeping you dirt poor because you believe money is evil, then it's kind of out of your hands. Your subconscious believes that, even if you are trying to now change it. But you can change it. You can change it. So don't give up on it. And don't think that it might be so easy either. Don't think, oh, okay, all I'm going to do is just change my mind about it. Which is true. Yes, you do have to change your mind about it. But the longer the program was running and the deeper you believe it, the more difficult it might be to change it. But again, I mean, that's just a belief too. You believe it's going to be difficult. It'd turn out to be difficult, but you can just say right now, it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. Nothing is. Anything I'm doing wrong, especially, well, knowingly or unknowingly, anything I'm doing wrong, I can fix it. I can fix it. And if I'm doing something wrong, then let it be brought to my attention so that I can fix it, because you can't fix anything you don't know is wrong, right? You may have never heard of that you're running a subconscious program that's keeping you poor because you really believe that money's evil. So all you needed to do was hear something and see your intuition will perk up when it hears, I don't know, truth. So your intuition will perk up and catch that. Be like, yep, that's right. That's correct. You can change it. You can reprogram it. You do not have to be poor. You do not have to think money is evil. You do not have to run that scenario. Everything's just scenarios, and all the scenarios are based on what you believe and think. And I'm just using, money as the simple example. Money is, one of those things that is very controversial, I guess. Again, that's a belief. But just saying, looking at society and all the books that have been written about money and all the talks about money and all the different feelings about money, it is pretty controversial. But only because people made it that way, made it so. So when it comes to what we believe, like what I believe, what I think, I decide that. You decide that. So it doesn't matter what anything has been in the past, or what people thought, or what the opinions of any of it is. It only matters what you believe, what you know. It only matters the program that you're running. Because the program that I'm running has no effect on you. I mean, potentially. In all likelihood. The program that your neighbor's running probably isn't going to have much effect on you. But the program that you're running is going to have all kinds of effect on you. And this is for better or for worse. And we have been our own worst enemies out of ignorance, out of just not knowing. And I don't know. I don't know why we don't teach stuff like this in school. I don't know why. It seems like we would rather just... Well, you can understand why the greedy people would want to only teach certain things in education. In other words, make people just consumers and slaves. Or get people to make themselves that. Really, they're not being made that by them. They're being made that by themselves, but based again on what they have come to believe, and the education system influenced that. And if not that route, then we go the superstitious route with the religions and the gods and the deities, and we would rather fill people full of that. And all of this has a pretty negative outcome. This education and this indoctrination. Those two things just are almost the same thing. Education and indoctrination sets up your beliefs, and then your conscious mind programs your subconscious mind to run those programs, those beliefs. And it's not... It doesn't have an opinion. I'm going to start talking a lot more about the subconscious because I'm really starting to really understand it. It doesn't have an opinion. It doesn't care what's right or wrong. It's got one function and one task and one goal. And that is to bring about your will. Bring about your will. So if you... Let's think of a good example. I don't know, anything. Anything could be an example. Let's say you... I don't know. Let's say you believed that at this time of year... let's just go with allergies, because a lot of people dink around with allergies. Right? So let's say this time of year, there's a lot of pollen, and you have... somebody implanted the idea in your mind that, ooh, pollen makes you have allergies. What does that even mean? Oh, let's see, allergies. Your eyes get red, your nose itches, you have to blow your nose a lot, you sneeze a lot, and I don't know, you get headaches sometimes. And let's throw a real crazy one in. If you have allergies for 5 days in a row, a lot of times you end up with a fever, and it takes you about a week to recover. So you're just in bed for a week. All right, so somebody planted that thought into your conscious mind. And then you, me, whoever, through ignorance, dwells on that, thinks about that, marinates that, and like I said in another video, it's like wood floating on top of the water. It finally soaks up enough water, it becomes waterlogged, and it sinks down in to the subconscious, where it becomes a program that runs on auto mode, and you don't even have to think about it no more. So every spring, lo and behold, you are expecting something. What are you expecting every spring? Well, you're expecting to see the flowers. You're expecting to see the fresh growth. You're expecting the deciduous trees to put their leaves back on. Oh, but you didn't even think about it this year, but you were subconsciously already expecting to have allergies. And son of a gun, if it doesn't start to manifest for you. And shoot, you must have had 5 days in a row of allergies, because son of a gun, if you didn't get the fever and it took you down for about a week and you were bedridden, and while everybody else was outside enjoying spring, the people that didn't believe in allergies weren't having any problems at all, but you were laying in bed sick, telling yourself, I wonder why I'm allergic to pollen. I wonder why I have allergies. I can tell you exactly why. You believe in it. You believe in it. And you may not realize when you came to believe in it, but somebody, like I said, planted the idea in your conscious mind, and you got it set up in the subconscious where you don't even think about it, but it just brings about the result. All right, so everything works this way. Everything. Negative, good, bad, and different. It all works the same way. So you can... Squirrels are chasing each other around back there. So you can see then how, if you are having trouble with money, think about what your subconscious might be doing. If you're having trouble with relationships, think about what your subconscious might be running. What program could it be running? Fear is horrible to the human because it confuses the whole system. It just brings confusion, and it will usually just negate whatever. So, in other words, you just stagnate. So if you want to stagnate your progress, entertain fear. If you want to expedite your progress, entertain faith. Entertain faith. And there, see, that's a potential can of worms right there. Faith. Because anytime you mention faith, the G word is close by. The psyop is close by, and it's ready to pounce right on you like a jackal. And I've said, I'm not going into that whatsoever. I've done plenty of videos about it. And I'm sure there's plenty more to come in the future, because if there's one thing I think I can do in this world, well, there's a lot of things I think I can do, but there's one thing that's particularly difficult to do, and that is reach Christians. I don't even know if that's the right way to say it. Reach Christians. What does that mean? Well, redeem Christians. What does that mean? Help Christians. What does that mean? Help, I guess, is the best word there. Help. I can help them. They're quite confused. Anybody that's still dealing with a deity that's separate from them is some external caricature, still thinks a deity man came to die for them, die for everybody, die for anybody. And here's something that might help Christians, is if God's great plan to redeem man because man had fallen in the Garden of Eden, sin. He ate the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. So, knowledge was considered bad. The knowledge of good and evil. We might just sum that up to say duality. And I guess there's some argument that could be made that that could be true. That duality is less desirable than unity. But in any event, we wanted to know about duality. And so therefore we ate the fruit. And so therefore we were all quote unquote guilty. But I don't buy into guilt. I agree we wanted to know about duality. And so we ate the fruit and we obtained that knowledge. But if the big redemption plan of that God of the book was to send his only begotten Son to die for mankind, why did he wait until a mere 2,000 years ago to do this? Like, eons went by between the Garden of Eden and 2,000 years ago. Eons went by. And so one has to wonder, well, what about all those people that came and went? Billions came and went between the time the fruit was eaten and the time that the Jesus character was supposedly sent to save the world. Well, why wait so long? Why not, if that's the big plan, why not offer Jesus to everybody like, I don't know, 10 years later? Because couldn't we have cleaned the earth up and remedied the whole situation a long time ago? Had God not waited until just only 2,000 years ago to finally bring the solution to mankind? Right? So that's something to ponder for you Christians. To me, I don't even have to ponder that because I no longer buy it. I don't believe that that's factual. I think it's fiction. That any man does anything for another man in the terms of it's required. Sure, I could die for you. Sure, I could. But it would be voluntary. Well, with Jesus, okay, it was voluntary, let's say. He willingly died. They tell us. They say. But it doesn't matter. I could willingly say that I'm going to die for you. That would be one thing, but according to Jehovah, that is what is required. Is that a man has to die. Not just a man, but his only son has to die to save humanity. And see, that's where the law of free will gets violated. That's where other spiritual laws get violated. There's no requirement. Now, if that egregor named Jehovah became empowered through belief, then it could decree anything it wanted to. So in other words, it could decree, hey, it's a requirement. You have to believe and accept this death sacrifice in order to be saved. And I don't even like that word saved. What does that even mean? Saved? Saved? As opposed to, lost? What does lost mean? You know what I mean? Like you don't know where you're going. Oh, you're lost. You're lost from what? Lost to what? So you got to be real careful even thinking about this kind of crap, because again, your subconscious does not know what's true, what's not true, what's real and what's not real. It's taken its cue from you. And you, a lot of times, apparently, are taking your cues from other people, a lot of other people. A lot of people listen to pastors and preachers and all kinds of different people. Even me, don't believe anything I say, nothing. Unless you can confirm it your own self. Unless you can experience it within your own experience it. I'm simply sharing my experience, which is true and real and valid to me, because it's my experience. Or I'm not lying to you about anything I'm telling you. Okay, so my battery's getting low, but at least it didn't overheat and turn off. As far as I can tell, I can't see my screen. So I guess that's probably enough for today anyhow. Love and light. Have a great weekend. And really, 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 man, start thinking about what you're thinking about. That's the best way I can say it, and a simple way to say it. Think about what you're thinking about. And if it's not what you should be thinking about it, don't think about it. Change it. Or let that be your signpost to change what you're thinking about to something that you know is beneficial, something you know is healthy, something you know is edifying. Whatsoever things be good, just, pure, noble, of good report, meditate upon these things. And if you still got the TV on, turn that son of a gun off so you can get clear, so you can get clarity. Love and light. Until next time, my friends.